What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. We are here for the final round, front nine, lead card of the Cedar Hill Chill, presented by Dynamic Discs Carrolton. We've got Anthony Montalvo shooting a 11 down, rated 1058 to start, and the rest of the card trailing, and there's plenty more players tied at 6 down behind them. We're starting on course hole 7. We're playing Beaver for the final round. The wind is up. The sun is out. This course, in my opinion, is a lot less punishing than Coyote is, so we'll see if this lead card can keep pushing and fight off the chaser. So we've got Anthony here up first. He's rocking the Pulp Fiction hoodie, which I totally dig. Currently rated 956, shooting about 100 points above that for round 1. We've got Mason on the tee here, 1003 rated. He's hitting that gap nicely. This hole here is a little tricky. You've got thick woods on the left, and you've got a walking path on the right dividing hole 7 that we're on, with hole 18 that's playing back the other way. Got forehand here, just trying to play it safe, he said. He's got a really powerful forehand. That was Colby Edwards, rated 947. We've got Clayton, sponsored by Prodigy, rated 994. And last on the box, Jonathan Espinosa, sponsored by Dark Ace Disc Golf, rated 974. And unfortunately, Clayton went OB, so he's thrown for 3 here. Still has quite a bit of work left to do on this hole. Kind of puts it into those bushes. We'll get a look at his lie here in a second. Colby, this is super unfortunate. I'm just going to cut right to the chase. That was one of the wildest disc actions I've seen in a long time, and I really wanted to put it in slow-mo just because that was a great scramble shot. But I didn't want to do him like that. Jonathan here. Good up. I love this green. There's a shorter basket position on this hole that we're about pin high with here at Mason's Drive. But this green, I just like it a lot. It's kind of picturesque, especially in the spring and summer when all that foliage is full. But you have a bit of a backstop, yeah. So Clayton here, he does not have much to work with. And it's piling on. Fortunately, tried to jam it in. Go long. Clayton's just on the edge of the screen, kind of in the rough, and super unfortunate way to start the final round. Hole 8 here, one of our water holes, right around 300 feet, lots of options. You can go straight at it, you can hang a hyzer, any type of hyzer, forehand, backhand, lefty, righty. And we're going to see a couple of those options here. The pond is pretty full. We've got a lot of ice and a lot of rain in the last 2 weeks that you don't see this pond much fuller than this. Colby's going to go with forehand again. This is one of the Zacharias Johnson Glow Firebirds. There is a bit of a right to left wind here, but man, he mashed that thing. Clayton up next. He's going straight at this. Scorecard got in the way there, but it went long. But really great line straight at the basket. Anthony about pin high. Just safe from the pond. Mason kind of overcorrected a little bit from Anthony's mistake, but... And I thought when I filmed those discs stacked, I thought that those were our players' discs that somehow were perfectly stacked like that, but we kept finding a ton of casual players' discs here. What a putt. What a putt from Clayton. That was sweet. That's how you bounce back from an unfortunate start. Just hammer it right past the basket, make a big putt. That was great. On to hole 9. 218 feet. This is the middle pin position for this hole. Short is right by that drop zone. I like this pin position. There's another one is like 90 degrees left and about another 150 feet. It really makes it a 2-shot hole when it's in the deep, and it's a little boring. But still challenging, but a little boring. Especially for these guys. This is a tricky landing zone to hit because it's asking for a really specific shape, but with the wind coming over the right shoulders, more right to left than like a right to left tailwind, it's hard to get the angle just right to get a good look at a putt. A little overturned, but dry. That's the most important thing. Got our little nature appreciation moment. Kind of funky looking water with all the moss and algae and stuff, but lots of ducks, lots of turtles. Gotta throw them in there. Colby's up first. A mid-circle 2 look. One of the more open looks from the card, though. Jonathan's kind of in the junk here. And Mason is deep in there. He definitely benefited from having an extra 60 seconds from the previous 2 to let him get in there. Mason going out of turn here, kind of in the zone. Clayton being a gentleman about it, though. He's just taking his time.
Let's go.
On to hole 10. This is one of my favorite holes on the course just because of when this is all green and full. It's a sick tunnel shot, 372 feet. Kind of just outside of circle 2. It takes a 45-degree dogleg to the left, so like a Zeus or a Destroyer or something that you can just hammer on flat that as soon as it settles is going to flare. It's perfect. Colby, unfortunately, early releases and is not going to have a good time over there on the left side. But the rest of the cards are going to put up pretty decent drives. Only one of them, though, is going to pure it. exactly how you draw it up.
Everywhere.
And you'll just have to see who it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Great shot. And Colby is halfway to another fairway over there. Way to wait just a little bit. Let that card clear that hole. He pitches out, gets to the edge. He would have liked to be in the middle more, but luckily he's right-handed and this is a right to left shot, so he's able to make it work. And this is what I'm talking about. These guys, they made it down the tunnel, but didn't get that skip to the left, so you're kind of left with a long bid. But being able to see the basket is kind of the minimum requirement, just about, if you want to look at a 2 on this one. Mason making good on it. That's going to bring him into second place above Colby. Colby's going to drop a little bit here. To hole 11. UDisc says 202 feet. That is not even close to true.
Oh, so low. It's right all the way there.
Oh.
Gosh.
Mason throws it into the ground and somehow gets all the way down the fairway. A really unlucky tree kick at the end, so it kind of all balances out. He's going to be left with an outside look. Yeah, this fairway is hard pack for sure, so lots of fun ground play. You don't want to be too far left, or you definitely don't want to be in the left. To the right isn't too bad. There's a couple of pin positions over there, so it's a little more cleared out. But it's mostly straight deep. That was a great shot. Jonathan. Anthony is left with a scramble here. The Get Freaky Zone, I'm pretty sure is what that was. Interesting choice. The Z-Flex is a little less overstable though, so I'm sure he knows that disc well. This ended up in a good spot. And this is where Mason's crazy ground play drive ended up, so really not bad at all. If that disc had stayed in the air, we wouldn't be talking about it. It would just be, yeah, he has a putt. rest of the card. Cleaning up. On to course hole 12. 183 feet. I've always seen this hole as a real poke and pray. There is one obvious gap though that I don't know if I just haven't seen it because normally I don't play this course in the winter. Normally I play this one in the spring when it's more green and filled in, but everyone on the card, or almost everyone on the card, goes for the same gap. Throwing like your A2s or your zones or your pigs or whatever you like in that class. A little gentle hyzer, a little bit of height, get it there. It does slope down behind the basket, but this green, most of this fairway is pretty rocky, so likely you're not going to skip the catch edge and roll very far if you do sail it a little bit. Pitching up for 3. You can run this one off the tee, but with that slope, it's a little harder to convince yourself to run it from that far away. I can turn into a bogey real quick. Even the rough on this hole isn't too bad. Clayton has a decent look in and out. Mason, that's long. That's one of the longer ones I've seen on this hole. Oh yeah. That was a great 2. Colby putting now. And Jonathan, that's another great tee shot. Right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's his tee shot. Hole 13, 278 feet. I'm just going to throw a forehand placement shot and then give yourself, good footing for an open up shot and just get your 3 and get on to the next hole. You'd have to, the risk reward really isn't here on this hole. I mean, if you got a 2, you're taking strokes on almost the whole field. Actually, let's look at the scorecard on hole 13.
I've seen what's his face, Cam Sherrick.
There were no 2s, and there were even double and plenty of bogeys, double and triple bogeys. So par is scoring like a birdie here. Yeah, this hole.
Yeah, Thummer's not a bad.
This hole probably barely played under par. Just speculating. So yeah, if you get to the corner, then this is your second shot. Pretty much same distance. Just straight instead of something that's working left to right.
Come on. Beautiful. You're good.
Great score separator for AMs, so I'm trying to do something silly, but pretty straightforward, boring 3 for the open players. On to course hole 14. It's about 250 feet. The rough on the right and the left is thick, and that tall cedar, the biggest green thing on the screen, is really your only obstacle. Protecting the green. Mason, I don't know what that was that he threw, but he threw it hard and it just stayed flat. Kind of buried it into the ground in circle 2. Jonathan, little misrelease in the rough on the right. Clayton throwing straight at it. I think that was an A2, maybe a PA2. I'm bad with Prodigy discs. Yeah, he just went straight at it. He's not overcomplicating this hole at all. Got that Firebird again out of Colby, and man, he just hammers that thing. It wanted to stay straight for so long. I don't know, Jonathan's not in the rough. He just kind of was a little bit of a miscue, but I'll stand still looking at it. Curls up nicely. Mason, he's going to have to manufacture a little something over this dead tree that's laying down.
Got you good.
And Anthony's finding himself some good old-fashioned Texas thorns. These vines that grow in these woods are like green, twisty barbed wire. It's no fun. Great 2 out of Clayton. Hole 15 was our backup hole for this round. To the short, which is what UDisc says it's in. It's 369 feet where that white post is, but the actual basket for today was about 50 feet to the left. Really tough get. There were some 2s on it today, though.
2.
1,
Yeah,
2,
so
3,
deep, but
4,
so good.
5, 6 2s. That was a great shot from Anthony. There was a headwind coming up this tunnel, which all of my best throws on this hole have actually been with a headwind. It just helps hold that disc on Annie a little longer in that same shot shape that Anthony used. A little more late stability would have been perfect, like ace running it. He's kind of past the ideal line. Mason's disc was looking like it was going to do it, but it just didn't turn. Just a little too flat out of the hand, but this is such a tough hole. I was not surprised to see that there was a multi-card backup on it.
Okay.
And Colby, I tried to get behind him, but I really couldn't without impeding the pace of play, but man, there's nothing. So that's the look backwards into where he was. It was rough. Clayton's upshot was looking so good, it just tickled a branch that took it off of that Annie. It looked like the perfect angle out of his hand. Mason, this forehand roller was insane. You could not draw a bigger circle around the green than that disc did.
What?
It just wanted to keep circling the drain. Yeah, and with a shotgun start format on the scorecard, it's kind of hard, hole by hole, at least quickly, to break down what's going on, but there is some action going on the second and third cards. And at this point, I think I've seen some guys checking their phones and they kind of know the situation. And we're going to see the pace get picked up a little bit on the back nine. So thanks for watching the front nine of this final round coverage. Thanks for watching the round one, front nine, back nine. I really appreciate the support. Glad y'all are enjoying it. I'll have the conclusion of this tournament up as soon as possible.
Good putt.
Nice putt.
Great putt.
Yep.
Got ourselves a Chris Pepperling sighting, snacking on some jerky or something. If you don't know Pepper, you want to know Pepper. Dude's hilarious. And he's sponsored by Mint Discs and has some sweet Tour Series stuff that you should holler at him about and pick it up, because that stuff is awesome. And after the card taps out, we're going to look at the scorecard. It's going to switch to the top of your screen because I'm going to play this drive from Anthony in slow-mo. Sorry, Clayton, your putt on the second hole of this round was awesome, but man, I just love watching discs fly down this fairway and see these guys shred the back nine. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching.